Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy's back! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the NRL 2023 Round 1 draw has been revealed. The rest of the draw is apparently scheduled to come out this week at some stage. I believe Thursday is the day I keep hearing for the rest of the 2023 NRL draw. If that does happen on Thursday, I will be live on YouTube when the draw comes out on Thursday, and I'll be discussing the draw and going through all the matches and talking about it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to this YouTube channel, make sure you like the content. You share the video around on social media, whether that be on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter. Share the channel around. And if you're new, make sure to subscribe. We have just hit 2,000 subscribers just recently. And it's a very incredible achievement for the channel and for myself. So, all right. Before I go into the Round 1 draw, which has been revealed, I want to say hello to everybody that is in the live chat. I'm just going to put the microphone down. I'm going to put the microphone just there so it's easier. I don't have to hold on to the bloody thing. All right. Hello to the live chat. We've got 20 people here at the moment. Hello to Josh RABBITOHS 2022. TJC Sports is here. Electrical Dust. SS Storm fan. Faraz. The Sharkies is here. We've got Julian McCann. We've got Bosky. We've got Bricked Up. We've got Cody Games PlayStation. Let's Go Bulldogs is here. Jason Reader. Who else is here? We've got bloody hell. We got chat's going off. We've got Joshua. We've got the Manly fan. The chat's looking good. Luke Melbourne Storm fans here as well. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, the draw is out for Round 1. Hello to Ryan Hughes. I hope you're looking good. Oh, looking good. Well, I hope you look good. I hope you're doing well, my friend. All right, the Round 1 draw. I'll go through it real quick, and then obviously we'll break it down and whatnot. So let's just get into the fixture. The games for Round 1 for 2023. We've got the Eels and the Storm, the Warriors and the Knights, the Panthers and the Broncos, Seagulls up against the Bulldogs, Cowboys versus the Raiders, Sharks versus the Rabbitohs. We've got the Dolphins and the Roosters, and we've got the Tigers and the Titans, with the Dragons getting the bye for round number 1. Interesting draw. Very, very interesting draw. Very interesting. Let me just say this. It's been reported by the Sydney Morning Herald that will be the Round 1 fixture for 2023. And look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This might sound a bit harsh, but in my opinion, fellas, the Round 1 draw for 2023 absolutely sucks. I reckon this fixture is terrible. I really do. I don't agree with the Round 1 fixture. I think it's a shit fucking draw. We don't have a lot of amazing games for Round 1. And if you have a look at it, we don't have one single rivalry game to start the year. We don't have one rivalry game at all. I don't like the draw. I think they've got the round 1 fixture completely wrong. I don't like it. We have not. So I get round 1. You want to have a bunch of random games. You want to have good games. You want to have your boring games. But why do we have not one single rivalry game? There's no rivalry games in round 1. We have Parramatta Melbourne is sure as hell not a rivalry. We've got no Warriors at 19 a rivalry. Panthers Broncos is random as hell. It seems like an easy game for Penrith to start off. Manly and Dogs is a random match. Cowboys and Raiders means nothing. It's just a game in Townsville to start the year. Sharks and South Sydney is a great game, but it's not a rivalry. Dolphins and Roosters, I think it's the Arthur Beetson Cup that they're talking about. There's no rivalry there either. And the Tigers and Titans at Leichhardt. Where's the rivalry games? I know you don't want to overdo rivalry games in round 1, but there needs to be at least 1 or 2 rivalry games to start the year. You want to start the year off with a bang. Where's the rivalry games? We haven't got any of them. So that's disappointing. I'm disappointed with the opening game. Parramatta versus Melbourne, yes, it will probably be a great game. It'll probably be a tight game, and it usually is a good game when they play each other, Parramatta versus Melbourne. But why is that the opener? Why are Parramatta opening the season? Penrith won the premiership. They've won the last 2 grand finals. I feel as Penrith should open up the season. That's just what I believe. Penrith should be playing round 1 against the Storm or the Roosters. I think that would have been a great way to open up the year. But they've got Parramatta versus Melbourne. Parramatta versus Penrith would have been a good way to start the year off as well. Get the grand final rematch out of the way. That would have been a great way to start the year. But Parramatta versus Melbourne is very interesting. I can't believe that the Broncos are not playing in Brisbane in round 1. The Broncos in round 1 usually play at home. I'm very surprised that they're going to be playing in Sydney in round 1. I'm very surprised. I thought they would have been playing the Dolphins or the Cowboys in round 1, but they've got them in Sydney, which is extremely, extremely rare. Did not expect that. What else we got here? We got fucking... Oh, well, this is probably the worst one of them all. The West Tigers versus the Gold Coast Titans at Leichhardt Oval. That might be the worst round 1 game in a couple of years, man. It's Tigers and Titans. Go back to last season. They played at Seabus on a Thursday night. I think it was in round 4. One of the worst games of football I've ever seen. It was so bad. And we're going to start round 1 at Leichhardt on a Sunday night with the Tigers and the Titans. The current Wooden Spooners up against a bottom 4 Titans team. This is garbage. We can't believe it. Well, why is this round 1? God help us. Anyway, that's what I hate about it. What I like about round 1, I think the Warriors in New Zealand is a great thing for the game. Having them start their year off in New Zealand is very good. Up against Newcastle, who are looking to try and rebuild, try and bounce back from last year's disappointment. The Warriors in New Zealand, I like it. And look, I thought Friday at 6 o'clock was getting rid of. They were scrapping that off, but they're actually going to keep that for this year. The Warriors on a Friday at 6 o'clock for us here in Australia works out well because it's 8 o'clock over there in New Zealand for them. So if you're a Warriors fan and you work in New Zealand on a Friday night, the game's at 8 o'clock for them. So that works out well. 6 o'clock for us, it's fine. Warriors suit the Friday 6 o'clock game. It works well for them. Manly versus Bulldogs is not a bad game. I think it'll be very hot because usually early March it's still quite warm, around that 28 to 32 degrees. So it's still quite warm. So wouldn't be surprised if they did those quarters that they used to do early on in the year. So I do like Manly versus Bulldogs. I think it's a good fixture. Cowboys and Raiders is interesting. Cowboys in Townsville are very hard to beat early on in the year up against Canberra, who had a pretty good back end of last year. So that's not a horrible game. It's decent enough. If I'm a Cowboys fan, like I am, I would have preferred a tougher opponent. I would have preferred to play like a Roosters or a Rabbitohs or a Sharks or someone like that to start off. But the Raiders, not a bad game. Sharks versus Rabbitohs, Saturday night, probably my favourite fixture. I think that's a fantastic game for a Saturday night. Shark Park will be sold out. That will be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. Dolphins and Roosters. I mean, if it's all over Arthur Beetson, then I can understand it, but not the greatest fan of that. Everything else is quite bland for me. The Dragons have got the bye, which isn't the worst thing in the world. If you're a Dragons fan, you're probably upset about not playing in round one, but hey, it gives you an extra week to prepare for the season, and it gives you an extra week to look at the teams that have already played, and you're a bit more fresh than everyone else. So not bad at all. Righto, so let's just go through all the fixtures one by one. So obviously the season opener to start the 2023 NRL season, we've got the Eels up against the Storm. Not the greatest way to start round one, but fairly, I would have went something else, but it's a fairly decent fixture for round one. Parramatta versus Melbourne, it'll probably be sold out, especially at CommBank Stadium. March 2nd, 8 o'clock kickoff. Not the worst fixture in the world. It's not bad. It's a decent way to start the year, but personally, I reckon that there were better options in that. The first game on the Friday night footy, 6 o'clock game. The Warriors up against the Knights, like I said before. 6 p.m. for us here in New South Wales, Australia. It's an 8 o'clock game in New Zealand. So if you're working all day in New Zealand, I mean, it's not a bad thing to stop. Can you stop doing that, please? It's the Warriors and Knights. I mean, most will say it's a random game, but hey, it works out well for everyone in New Zealand and not bad for us over here in Australia. If you're not off work before 6 o'clock on a Friday, it's not the worst fixture in the world. Let's go to the main game on the Friday night, which is the big headliner for Friday night football. The Panthers and the Broncos live at Panthers Stadium. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. The Panthers have obviously won the last 2 grand finals, and they're trying to look for a three-peat in 2023. But having them play the Broncos is just random as, man. Why the Broncos aren't playing at Suncorp in round one is beyond me. They would have got an instant 45,000 fans, more revenue for the game. But Penrith and Brisbane, it's a very weird game to start off on Friday night there, especially the last game there. It's a weird game, Panthers and Broncos, but I think this game is disappointing. I would have preferred something else. And let's go to Super Saturday. And that starts off with the 3 o'clock game at Brookvale Oval, which will be nice and hot as well, by the way. Manly up against the Bulldogs. A very decent start for the year. Both sides looking to improve. Manly get Tommy Turbo back, and they've got a new coach in Anthony Seibold. Bulldogs got a new coach as well in Cameron Ciraldo. Their new recruits, Reid Marnie, William McKickow. They'll be ripping in up against Manly. Should be a very good game. This one, entertaining game. I don't mind this match at all. I think this is a good fixture to open up Super Saturday, Manly and the Dogs. The second game on Super Saturday for the round one fixture there, the Cowboys and the Raiders in Townsville. It's a 5:30 game, which is at 4:30 in Queensland. Now, let me just say this. If you've been to Queensland games in March, anything between the hours of 2 and 5 is very hot. The Cowboys and Raiders game, it'll probably be like 32 degrees. It'll be very hot. It's up there in Townsville. In round 2, last year, I was at Titans and Warriors there. It was like 30 degrees. It was hot as hell. It was like 2 o'clock kickoff. Very hot. So Cowboys, Raiders, pretty decent game for the Cowboys' first game of the year in Townsville there. It'll be nice and hot. Not the worst fixture. As a Cowboys fan, I would have preferred someone else, like a top dog, like a Roosters or a Storm or a Rabbitohs or a Sharks. But the Raiders, not bad. Cowboys, Raiders, not a bad fixture. And Saturday night, I think this is probably the best game of round one, if I'm being honest with you guys. This Saturday night, I think it's like a 7:35 kickoff or something. It's a semi-final rematch from last year. Cronulla Sharks up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. This should be a good game, this one. This is at Shark Park. Sharks looking for revenge from that semi-final defeat against South Sydney. The Rabbitohs haven't won at Shark Park in about 9 or 10 years, so Very, very interesting fixture, this one. I like this game a lot. Both these sides had a great year last year. Sharks finished in the top 4. RABBITOHS made it to the prelim final again. So I think this is the best game of round 1. Cronulla versus South Sydney. Looking forward to that. I think that's a great way to end Super Saturday. You've got a blockbuster game to look forward to there. Sunday football, 2 games. We've got the new boys, the new kids on the block, the Dolphins and the Roosters. This is a 4 o'clock game at Suncorp Stadium. The new kids on the block up against the Roosters. This should be interesting. The Dolphins. This is at Suncorp Stadium. Will the Dolphins be able to get 40,000 people for this game? I'm going to say probably not, but the NRL will try very hard to get at least 35,000 for this game. And I reckon they will get at least 30,000 for this. Dolphins and the Roosters. Sunday over, like I said before, probably be very hot. I was at Suncorp, I think it was in round 3 or 4 when the Broncos played the Cowboys, and it was a very hot day up there. It was very hot. So Roosters and Dolphins. Dolphins, welcome to the NRL, but it's a tough start. I take on the Roosters, and I just want to let you guys know a quick stat. The last time a new team came into the NRL was the Titans in 2007, and their first game was Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock as well, at Suncorp against the Dragons. And the Dragons did beat them in that game. So Dolphins are following the same trend as the Titans, playing Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock at Suncorp against the Roosters. So this should be very interesting, this one. Dolphins and the Roosters to open up Sunday football there. And the final game of the round, well, it's a shit game. It's a snooze fest. It's a Sunday. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff at Leichhardt Oval. It probably won't start till like 6:15 or something. West Tigers, Gold Coast Titans at Leichhardt Oval. Leichhardt Oval is fantastic, and it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. But Tigers and Titans, it's just yuck. Get me a bucket. Let me vomit. This game stinks. This is probably the snooze fest of round 1. I'm not looking forward to this game at all. West Tigers, Gold Coast Titans. I wish these teams had the bye, for fuck's sake. What a shit game to open up. What a shit way to end round 1 with the Tigers and the Titans. And the Dragons get the bye in round 1 now. I've spoken to a few Dragons fans all afternoon about this, and they're very upset about round 1. But here's the thing. If you miss round 1, you're guaranteed 2 points early, which, I mean, I know it's 2 points with actually not playing, but you get 2 points early. You get an extra week of preparation, and you get to see all the teams in round 1 that are playing it, and you get to have a look at your opponent. So whoever you play in round 2, you've got a really good look at them in round 1. You get a good view of them, and you get an extra week of preparation. So having the bye in round 1 isn't the worst thing in the world, let's be honest. But the Dragons, they get the bye in round 1. So that's going to be interesting to see how it goes. So they'll be 9th after round 1, as far as I understand. But put your hand down. Fellas, that's going to wrap up, I think. That's going to wrap it up. That's the draw. If I had to give the round 1 draw a rating out of 10, with 10 being great and 1 being the worst and 5 being average, I would give this round 1 draw probably a 5 out of 10. It's very average. It isn't a great way. It isn't a fantastic fixture, in my opinion. They could have done so much better. It's a little bit disappointing. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's got a couple of good games. Eels and Storm's a good game. Manly Dogs, Cowboys, Raiders, and Sharks and Rabbitohs is good. I don't like the Tigers and Titans game. I don't like the Dolphins, Roosters. I would have preferred Dolphins playing the Broncos or the Titans or whatever. Panthers and Broncos at Penrith, I don't like it. And Warriors and Knights is a bit of a mediocre game, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, that wraps up my 2023 round 1 draw review, whatever the hell you want to call it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe. Anyway, guys, we're getting out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And 2023 draw has been revealed. The rest of the draw will be out this week. And the Cowboys, well, we all know the Cowboys are going to win the grand final next year. So let's just see what happens. Cowboys They will be the 2023 premiers. Anyway, see you guys later.